Hi, and welcome to my next video. So, as you guys probably already know from the last video, last month my wife and I finally finished watching Game of Thrones, and I still have some opinions and thoughts on it. In that last video, I provided some more context into um, my whole experience of watching Game of Thrones. You know, what was my exposure to it, and so on and so on. Some spoilers, just the same thing that this video also has. So we went through it, no skipping, no rage quitting, um, and we went for a full ride, basically. Um, because um, I need here to continue a little bit more on this talk about the whole plot um, that happened in the Game of Thrones show, and that's because what happened in King's Landing at the end of the very show, in the finale. And for me, the way I see it, that wasn't just some random, she just snapped moment with Daenerys. For me, the way I see it, the signs were there from the season one. And you know, together with the whole blood right obsession, the whole fire and blood mentality, um, the whole belief that she's morally right first of all, and um, any level of um, destruction that she had, she thought it's justified. And so basically in this video, what I want to do is to break down her transformation into this mass killing dictator that I think it wasn't really that sudden that a lot of people thought it was. I know it is a bit of a controversial thing for sure, but what I think it was built step by step from um, the very beginning, from the first moments where with her brother Viserys, and that whole situation where, spoilers, um, he got killed with that molten gold, um, to the Slavers Bay justice moment, and to this whole coin flip Targaryen legacy thing, and to her losing her advisors at the very end. Um, so that's why I want to dive into this and to try to explain from my perspective why I think for her fear became more important than love. So let's get into it. The massacre of King's Landing by Daenerys Targaryen was the culmination of a fire and blood nature established as early as season 1. While often framed as a liberator, her evolution from an exiled princess to a conqueror consistently prioritized absolute power and personal vengeance under the guise of justice. Her transformation into a mass killing dictator was not a sudden shift, but the result of a personality that believed her perceived moral superiority justified any amount of slaughter. From the beginning, Daenerys was shaped by her brother Viserys' obsession with their Bloodright and his violent temper, which he termed waking the dragon. Though she eventually surpassed him, she adopted his belief that the Iron Throne was hers by right of heritage, regardless of the cost to others. Her first display of Targaryen detachment occurred during Viserys' execution by molten gold, which she watched with chilling lack of emotion, concluding that he was no dragon. Fire cannot kill a dragon. Her rebirth in Khal Drogo's funeral pyre further solidified her belief that she was an exceptional being to whom the normal rules of the world and mortality did not apply. As Daenerys transitioned from Dothraki Khaleesi to a conqueror in Essos, she began to equate her personal vengeance with justice. In Season 2, while being denied entry to Qarth, she made a direct precursor threat to her actions at King's Landing. "When my dragons are grown, we will take back what was stolen from me and destroy those who have wronged me. We will lay waste to armies and burn cities to the ground." Her liberation of Slaver's Bay followed a pattern of escalating brutality. For Astapor, she used dragonfire to incinerate the Master Krasnus and ordered the Unsullied to slay the masters, slay the soldiers, and slay every man who holds a whip. For Meereen, ignoring Sir Barristan Selmy's counsel for mercy, she chose to crucify 163 masters as a one-for-one justice for 163 dead slave children, refusing to distinguish between the innocent and the guilty. For the Sons of the Harpy, when they resisted her rule, she rounded up the heads of great families and fed one to her dragons as a warning, despite having no proof of that individual's involvement in the insurgency. The show frequently referenced the Targaryen history of instability, noting that every time a Targaryen is born, the gods toss a coin and the world holds its breath. Advisors like Ser Jorah and Sir Barristan, and later Tyrion, spent seasons talking her down from her most violent impulses. Tyrion explicitly compared her early plans for King's Landing to those of her father, the Mad King Aerys II, who intended to burn the city with wildfire rather than surrender it. By Season 8, the foundations of her support system crumbled with the deaths of Ser Jorah Mormont and Missandei. This isolation, combined with the threat Jon Snow's superior claim posed to her identity, pushed her into paranoia. Realizing the people of Westeros did not love her as the slaves of Essos had, she concluded, "All right then, let it be fear." When the bells of King's Landing rang in surrender, they signaled a peace that Daenerys no longer valued. To her, the bells were not a victory, but a reminder that her enemies only submitted because they were forced to, not because they believed in her. Her definition of mercy had shifted from saving lives to mercy towards future generations, as she says it, by purging the current world of those she felt were tainted by tyranny. She leveled the city because she believed her destiny was to break the wheel of the existing world to make room for her good one, and she felt entitled to kill whoever stood in her path. As Tyrion later reflected, her actions were the end result of a belief system where everywhere she goes, evil men die and we cheer her for it, and she grows more powerful and more sure that she is good and right. So, What do you think? Was this the tragic fall of a broken hero, or the inevitable rise of a tyrant we were always meant to see coming? Let me know your take in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, leave a like, subscribe for more character analysis like this, and I'll see you in the next one.